Hi, in this video I'm going to demo how to build a form in Light Framework. For Light Framework, like all the form is a web component. I have one web component built and loading the data from a server, which is a JSON schema, to define the form, and then render the form on the UI. So every form within the Light Framework is just a one component, and you can reuse this component to build like thousands of forms within your application. So this is the form admin interface I have. So you can see here I have all the forms here, and every form is an entry here. And you can see here I have a COM network NT Light user sign up. And this is a sign up form, user ID, email, password confirmation, first name, last name. And you can see there's three different portions. One is called form definition, which is JSON description. See how many elements there. And this is the action. It's an array. See how many buttons like show up in the form. So here we have register button here. And this is schema. This is the most important part of the schema. It defines the validation rules and all the elements and what type of data this form going to be accepted. Once you define this finished definition here, you design your form, you can save the schema. This will save the form definition into database, and every time you load the form, you just pass in the form ID here. And the server will give you the form definition, which combine the form, action, and the schema together, and the model actually. Model defines some default data. So the beauty is here, you can test over here. See all the validation works, and you can see it does the validation thing, right? And you can also change this form. For example, I want to change the title from sign up to something else, or I want to change for example last name, like let's say last A name, yeah. And you can see this title change immediately. So on the right side you do the design, on the left side you test it, you see the end result. And you can add new field, you can remove some of the field, and you can add validation rules, and you can always test just on this side. This is how the form is supposed to be built. And once the form is built, in a normal case, we do have source code. You can see here, I have all the forms I showed you in from database. That's my form admin. But on my local, I do have a directory, save all the forms. So this is the form directory and the resource of my server. And the form I showed you is called I think it's the user sign up form. So this is user sign up form is exactly the same. The only difference ID is listed here, and you have action, you have schema, and you have form. This is exactly the same like we've seen just minutes ago. And I have a loader application. So this is called form loader. So if you want to load all the updated form to my development environment, I just run this form loader. Every changed form will be loaded into database. So the next time you use the form, like a new version of the form will show up. The next I'm gonna show you how the form is supposed to be working. So this is the form.js, which is a form controller, and you can see the get form is calling an endpoint to pass in the form ID, and sometimes you pass in parent ID, which means you have parent and children relationship. And whenever the form post get to the server, and you get a schema, you get a form, you get an action, and then you put this into your scope, and when you do the submission, it's same. You just collect everything and submit to the server. The submission actually is based on the form definition, the action data, and the action parent ID, and the action define which button you are calling. Because you can have multi actions, so this is because here you can see there's a button index. The other thing I want to show you is the form HTML. So this is the form HTML. Basically, it's using a directive called ng form, and the ng submit form, and this is form data, model data, and this SF form and SF schema. So this is the directive we're using for the form, and this is action in action, which is just a print out or render all the buttons defined in the form action.